Joined by Wisconsin head coach Greg Gard and student athletes Nigel Hayes and Bronson Koenig. Congratulations, guys, on a victory that advances you on to play Villanova here on Saturday night. We are waiting on game times. Hope to have them to you before we're done here this evening. But we'll open with Coach Gard making an opening statement before we go to questions for student athletes. Coach.
Thank you. Obviously extremely happy for our guys, really proud of how they battled. Virginia Tech's got a heck of a team and knew that, obviously. I'm not surprised watching them on film and preparing for them, so we knew. See, obviously when you get to this time of the year, they're all good. And we were able to do just enough and make enough shots, get to the foul line enough specifically in the second half to be able to hold them off and get enough stops there at the end to seal it up. So, like I said, happy for these two guys to my right and the other 15 guys in our locker room. It was a heck of a team effort.
Thank you, Coach. We'll take questions at this time for Nigel and Bronson. We'll start in the back center here.
Bronson, Josh Verlin, Sports Exchange, right here. Several times they cut it to 1 in the second half, and you would come right back and hit a 3. I was just wondering, were you looking for your shot in those moments, or did it just sort of work out that way?
You could definitely say I was looking for my shot, and it's just something I take pride in. Being a senior point guard is making plays in critical moments, and I knew when they kept cutting it to 1 that I was going to have to make some type of play. So I was just trying to be as aggressive as possible.
I think it's coming the other side. Okay.
Mark Berman, the Roanoke Times in Virginia. Bronson, were you just feeling it today? Was there certain things you were able to take advantage of with their defense? How do you explain why this is the game where you broke a school record with 8 3-pointers?
I mean, I was feeling it a little bit. I don't think I really shot all that well, to be honest. I mean, looking at my numbers, and but I knew with the way they were going to play defense with the switching and everything like that, and going back to zone and back and forth, that I was going to be able to get some open looks if I just kept moving. And my teammates did a great job of both screening and passing me the ball. And yeah, I was just, like I said before, searching for it and just trying to stay on the attack.
Let's go over here to John. Go ahead.
Bronson, how big of a lift was it to just stay up by a point? They repeatedly got to within a point. How big of a lift was it to stay within or stay up by a point the entire time?
I mean, we just try to battle every single possession, and their guards are really good, especially off that ball screen. So we were, trying to do the best we could to keep them in front, and I mean, that's something we'll, look back on and need to improve moving forward. But yeah, being up 1 and our guys hitting their free throws was huge for us, and just making big plays down the stretch.
Let's go right there in the center. Yep.
Nigel, Josh Verlin, Sports Exchange. How much do you feel like your just general tournament experience that you guys have been here all 4 years and Virginia Tech hadn't been here in a decade, how much did you feel like that was paying off for you guys down the stretch?
I think it definitely helped a lot for us to have the older guys that we have and to have been through some of the runs that we've had in the tournament. And I think it showed with Bronson the way he responded to each time they went on a run. Each time they hit a big shot, he responded with a big shot. And that's something that you need. Although this is another game, it's in the tournament, so the emotion's higher, energy's higher, guys are playing more uptight, and I think when you have that experience, you're able to relax a little more, and you can go out and break school records when you do.
Any other questions for Wisconsin student athletes? Yep, it's right here.
For the guys, in terms of your defense, what do you think kind of worked for you, and what was kind of your game plan against Tech?
Nigel.
Our defense was it wasn't good at all today. I'm sure he'll be up all night with clenched fists watching film at how poor we were. We didn't do well guarding their ball screens at all. We gave up a lot of paint touches, a lot of and-ones and finishes. We fouled three-point shooters 2 or 3 times, which is definitely a cardinal sin in any program. We didn't do well with dribble penetration, which again was one of the key things we wanted to take care of. We know they can drive and kick extremely well, so we were fortunate that we needed a score record-breaking performance in order to beat them. They're a really good team.
Okay, not seeing any other questions, Bronson, Nigel, congratulations. We'll see you here tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you.
Further questions now for Coach Guard. Raise your hand, we'll get a microphone to you. April, right down front here.
Ava Wallace with the Washington Post. To go on the 10-1, I think it was, run at the last 2 minutes there, is that more you guys and your experience in those types of games, or was it kind of Virginia Tech fading a little bit, do you see from them on their offense?
Well, I thought we got the ball to some pretty high percentage areas. We wanted to make sure we tried to touch the post there when we could. We got to we shot quite a few free throws there down the stretch too. So it's part of it. You know, I don't know. I only coach one team, so I can't judge in terms of what they are going through. But I thought we had guys make key plays at key times, and that's what you have to have at this time of year if you want to continue to advance. Different people have to step up at different times, and we're able to get enough stops there at the end to be able to come back and answer and then get a little separation.
Go ahead, John.
John Vogel with the Buffalo News. You've obviously seen Bronson a lot. Where did tonight rank? I don't mean from what you've seen.
Well, I can probably remember his 2 turnovers or whatever he had. Oh, he had 1. Okay. I've known him since he's a freshman in high school. Recruited him for 3 years before he committed to us. So I've seen him do a lot of things. Watched him win 2 state championships. Obviously, I watched him for 4 years here with us. He's a heck of a player, and he did a very good job of moving without the ball tonight. He played more without the ball than he did with the ball for the most part because of what we wanted to run against what they were doing defensively. So he found spots, as you mentioned. Teammates did a good job of screening and finding him. And I don't know if it's his best shooting performance. Obviously, it sets a record, but he obviously had 17 attempts to do it too. But he's a good player. There's no doubt about that. He's the school's all-time leader in three-point shooting. That's pretty obvious. So he's been fun to coach.
Coach, you're going to write down here.
Greg, John Worrell with the Associated Press. What do you make of what Bronson said in taking ownership as being a senior point guard and saying, I needed to respond when the time came, especially when they were, inching with it, to respond to a three-point basket that he scored.
Yeah, he's done that throughout the year. He's hit big shots for us. He had a big shot. Everybody remembers the shot against Xavier last year that he hit to send us to the Sweet 16. And, he has a tendency to obviously have the ball in his hands, so the opportunities go up, and that's usually where you put at the end of a game, you want the ball in your point guard's hands, whether it's him shooting or making plays for others. And he was opportunistic. And he hit obviously timely shots when we needed it. And like I said, teammates found him too. That wasn't always him making a play with the ball. It was some inside out, touching the post, throwing it back out, and him relocating and finding open spots. So obviously he gets the credit for knocking down shots, but other guys had hands in helping that happen.
Follow up, John.
And just as a follow-up, I mean, I know he's the point guard, and the mentality to have that confidence and to be able to deliver it. What does it say about somebody like him?
Well, he's gone through games where he's gone 1 for 8 or 1 for 9 too. So the biggest thing about shooters is they have to have a short memory when things aren't going well. And we've gone through. I think he went 1 for 10 or whatever when we played out at Madison Square Garden against Rutgers this year. And he came over to the bench and said, "What's wrong?" I said, "Keep shooting. You got to keep shooting." And when you're a shooter of his level, because eventually you're gonna get one to go, and then it starts to snowball. So you can't lose confidence when you're a player like that.
Back right, Tim.
Tim Graham from the Buffalo News. Nigel had mentioned the cardinal sin of fouling somebody while taking a three-point shot. Justin Bibbs had 8 points on 2 4-point plays. I don't know how rare that is. It's got to be.
And 2 out-of-bounds plays we went over specifically in practice for 2 days. So,
what's the aggravation? Where is that on the aggravation scale?
Well, here's the thing. They shoot the three so well, and maybe we made too big of a deal as a staff about taking away their threes that we had them hyper alert to them shooting threes specifically off out-of-bounds plays or anywhere. I mean, I think I'll look through the tape and see why we gave up so much dribble penetration. Some of it we weren't as compressed and compacted defensively as we normally are, knowing that they had so many shooters on the floor. We were a little more spread, and they do that to you too. They did it throughout the year, and teams in that league as I went through film. So, you know, the first one, I would say Bronson runs right into Bibbs, and the second one, Iverson runs into him. They need to take a better route, but also we need to do a better job of taking away the action to that. And the scout team running it is one thing. When you go against a team that's done it all year and has the timing down of that, late we made an adjustment and jumped it from the guy taking the ball out of bounds to take it away. But you know, we have to be smarter in terms of you don't foul 3-point shooters whether it's an out of bounds play or not. So we'll look at the tape, I'm sure, and we'll see if Villanova runs any of those same type of plays.
Okay, not seeing any more questions. Coach, I want to congratulate you again. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
All right, thank you.
Joined now by Virginia Tech head coach Buzz Williams, as well as Seth Allen, Zach Leday. We're going to open right up with questions for our student athletes. At this time, please raise your hand. We'll get a microphone to you. And we'll start right over here on the left-hand side, and then we'll go over here.
Mark Berman, the Roanoke Times. Seth, they made 13 threes, and their point guard obviously had 8 of them. Was that just them being very hot, or was there anything defensively that you think you guys could have done better defending the 3?
I think we talked about their three-point shooting, especially from Brunson. A lot of it came off of offensive rebounds, some off of us trying to dig in the post. They did get hot. I think he hit like 3 or 4 in a row at one point, but we just had to do a better job of running them off the line. But we were really focused on trying to pack it in and trying to play tighter defensively.
Go to the right side here, guys.
Zach, Jay Skursky with the Buffalo News. You guys were able to cut your deficit to 1 point on 5 different occasions in the second half, but never able to tie it or take the lead when you had a chance. Just how frustrating was it that you were able to battle almost all the way back, but never quite get there to even the game up?
I just know I had a couple opportunities. That's just my fault. I got to be better as a leader and make those shots. But you don't really think about that. You're just thinking about getting stops and just playing as hard as you can. You don't really think. We weren't really thinking about the score. I know I wasn't looking at the score for a second. I was just out there playing as hard as I could, just trying to play for my teammates.
And if I could ask a follow-up for Seth, in the first half, we saw you limping a little bit. It seemed like something was going on with a foot or anything. Just what was your physical condition tonight?
I kind of got beat up a little bit, but I was fine in the second half.
Let's go here and then right next door.
Seth, you guys were 7 of 17 from 3. Was their 3-point defense tough? Did they give you hard looks, tough looks?
I don't know. I'd say that they're a really good defensive team. Some of the looks, we didn't touch the paint. We kind of executed out of bounds under pretty well. The threes we did get were all from paint touches. A lot of those were late. We shot a lot of threes late. I remember I shot 2 in the second half, or that was late. But 7 for 17. What percent is that? 41. So that's okay. So.
Go ahead, April.
Ava Wallace with the Washington Post. Obviously, it's tough after a loss, but is there any room for both of you guys for pride right now, either in each other and in the rest of your teammates, or in Buzz?
We went out there, we fought as hard as we could. I guess at the end of the day, they made more winning plays than us, but we're going to have pride no matter what. We went out there and played as hard as we could, and we gave it our all, but we just came up short. So.
Seth, why did you want to come over and give Zach a hug when he fouled out?
Because Zach's like my brother. We came in together, and this is the last game we played together in college, so I just want to tell him I love him, and that's it.
Let's go right next to her.
For each of you, you helped turn this program around in your 3 years in Blacksburg. How will you remember your time in Blacksburg overall and this special season? How will you remember it?
This year specifically, I was just really focused. I wasn't really focused on my time. To be honest, I wasn't thinking about my time in Blacksburg or anything. I was just thinking about basketball every day, all day, how I could get better and how I could better my team and help us win. So at the end of the day, we fought as hard as we could. I literally dedicated my whole life to the season in this program this past year, so I don't have any regrets. I wish we could have won. I'm really mad that we didn't win, but at the end of the day, these are my brothers for life, and Coach Buzz like a father to me, so I'm thankful that I was able to come here and we were able to make it to this point.
Same here. I enjoy my time here. Like Zach said, this season specifically, we made a kind of deal between each other. We didn't get on any social media. We just stayed in our house. We just went to the gym and shot, and we tried to just be the best leaders we could and just follow Coach Buzz, because he's one of the best leaders we ever seen, or the best leader. And we were just trying to just fight every night and then just trying to change the program around. It's hard to change a program around. You gotta be a everyday digging person. You can't take any days off, even when you beat up. So, I mean, that was our mentality. We knew that it wasn't going to be easy, and we just wanted to just follow Coach Buzz and the coaching staff's lead and just try to play and work as hard as we could when the cameras weren't up on our face.
Seth, Zach, congratulations on a great season. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, guys. Thanks, everybody.
Take questions for Coach Williams at this time. Please raise your hand. Start in the back and we'll go up.
Norm Wood from the Daily Press in Newport News, Virginia. Buzz, with as little depth as you had, and you knew Seth was hurting, Justin Bibbs said that he saw, at least during halftime and at points during the second half, where he was grimacing. Did you have a discussion in him at any point during the half? I need you, man. There's nobody else. There's nobody else I can rely on right now.
No, we didn't discuss it. He knew. Our team knew. He has really bad turf toe. Our team doctor was here. Obviously, he played less minutes than normal, but that's part of it. We've obviously endured a short roster all year long and an even shorter roster since Chris's injury. Hate that it happened to Seth and what ended up being his last game. Not just for Seth, but the importance that Seth brings to the other 6 guys that he plays with. So, but that's not why we lost. But it was a part of the story for sure.
Right there.
Buzz did 7 threes tonight. Did they do certain things to keep you from having one of those typical 10, 12 3-point games you have?
No, I think I mean this appropriately. I think with what has transpired over the last 9 games, with each passing game, the scouting report has skewed towards that. If you're shooting, we were shooting 51% as a team from the field over the last 9 games, 47% I think from 3. So I think teams are focused on, we're playing, for the most part, multiple guys on the floor that can shoot it from 3. So they're a great defensive team. And I would say that that was a part of their plan going into the game.
Good, April.
Buzz, last year, Seth and Zach both said that the NIT tournament was a jumping off point for you guys for wanting to have a good start and wanting to play
Sure.
well in non-conference. How do you view this game and this kind of whole experience in getting back here for the first time in a decade as a jumping off, not just for next year, but for years to come?
Sure. The thing that I mentioned, obviously it's emotional anytime you come to the end. Our last game, post-game locker room, this is my 10th year as a head coach. It's always been the same. And the one thing that I said different tonight than I said last year, to answer your question, is as emotional as you are, it's important that you go back to the hotel and write down all the things that you learned. Good things, bad things, basketball-specific things, person things, student things, because in order to use this as an opportunity for growth, you can't wait till after the Final Four, because that's what typical kids do. And I think what we've asked of our staff and asked of a very young roster, and in some ways a very depleted roster for various reasons, we've asked them to be men in so many respects. And so I think all of that comes with this is an opportunity to learn. And I think the best way to learn is to flush it all out of your heart and your soul and your brain and make sure that you have something that you can go back to. And just because of my relationship with those guys, and I don't say that in an arrogant way, I think they'll heed that advice because I think it's important. I'll do it. I've always done it. There's a lot to learn from all of this, and you have to dissect it in the right way.
Right here.
Buzz, you've got a lot of pieces coming back next year, but how much will you and this program and this team miss those two seniors that just left?
I don't. You probably know this. I'm in the bottom percentile in saying hello. And whatever percentile you think I am in that regard, I'm worse in saying goodbye. I don't say hello to my wife. When she calls me, I don't say goodbye to my wife. And that's the way I've always been. And that's why I'm perceived, sometimes I think, in the wrong way. Man, I'll miss those kids. Figuratively, those guys have carried a lot of water since they've been here. And for whatever reason, they have never resisted anything that I've asked of them. And not because they're good players. They're really, really good kids. And what they've been able to help us establish in a very, very short tenure, way faster than I believe we've been given credit for, I owe them for life. And my children owe them. And our staff owes them. And those other kids on our team owe them. And we're so thankful.
Last one, Norm.
I know you're not.
You know Norm?
I do now.
You just heard him say his name?
Yeah,
We go
a few
way
days
back,
now.
At
Good
least
job,
At
Norm.
least 5 minutes. I know you're not real big on negative thinking, but even for a second, do you allow yourself to think about what if I just had? What if I had Chris? What if I had Carey? What if I had even Johnny? Just somebody, these guys that could give you more minutes, and especially bigs.
Well, no, I think the reason why, Norm, is all of the pace of this is just so fast, and when you exhale and give yourself a time to go, well, if we did this and if we had that, this could have happened. For whatever reason, my whole career, there's some lemons, let's make lemonade. And you know why Zach and Seth are so good? It's because they didn't have any other choice. And if you look at our staff, really and truly, the only guy whose resume looks like they belong is our trainer. He's got all those initials after his name. We send him all over the country to all those conferences. But I think one of the things that I admire so much about our guys, they never paused either. Overtime game against UVA, you were there. The next morning, Chris gets the MRI. That afternoon, the doctor comes to the office and we FaceTime his parents. But then we have to leave immediately after that to travel to Pitt. And part of it is because of the pace of everything. But part of it is as a leader, I'm inspired that the fabric of how we go about things is what's next. And that's a quote shirt, but they believe it. And I believe it too. And I think that they've been such an example of that. You know, the thing that I'm disappointed, Chris was Player of the Year in Virginia. He was a part of our first full recruiting class. I hate it for him that he didn't get to experience this in uniform, you know. I made the decision on Carey, and called his dad and after the win at Michigan, and I said, in my heart, I don't think I would play my son, but I want to be honest with you. If I played your son, we would win 2 more games, and those 2 games could decide which tournament we play in. And he goes, Buzz, you need to play him. And I go, I know. As a coach, I need to play him. But in my heart, I can't. And Pig, Tyree, he's really good. And the things that he's been through in the last 7 months, I've never seen in my 23 years as a college coach, ever. And what Tom Gabbard has done for Pig, I've never seen an administrator fight for. And Devin Wilson, he says to me after the spring football game, Coach, what do you think I ought to do? I said, well, the only way I could answer that is I think if I could tell my children that I played college football and college basketball at the highest level possible, I think I'd do that. Toughest guy on the roster, best defender on the roster. And I knew when he said I'm playing football, I knew that meant he wouldn't play basketball this year. And I think that you have to make decisions individually, but those decisions have to be sustainable collectively. And I think, like Berman said, of all the guys that are returning, on paper, it will be the highest number of years of experience at Virginia Tech. This group had 7 years of experience at Virginia Tech. And we played 33 games, with the last one being here. It's pretty good.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.